Hey everybody, my name is April and this is the Pretty Nerdy Mom. Welcome to my channel. So today's video is Vlogmas day 19. We have done this for 19 days. We have done 18 videos because we combined 6 and 7. But we have done 19 days of Vlogmas. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm going to pat myself on the back right now. We have 6 more days. We can do this. So today's video is 4 Disney inspired DIY ball ornaments. I did a set earlier this Vlogmas period and I'll link that up like around here, and yeah, you should totally check it out. I did some like a Star Wars set based on A New Hope. I did a Leia, R2, and a Death Star, and then yeah, I'm giving you 4 more. Technically 2 of them are set, so I guess you could say 3 more, but it is 2 to that set. So let's jump on in. But before I do, please like and subscribe, join our family. We would love to have you. And yeah, like I said, we have 6 more days. We have 6 more days of Christmas content coming out, and then after that we still have some great stuff coming out. I have some big plans for the new year and I cannot wait to announce some of that. But for now, let's get to the ornaments. So for our first ornaments, we are going to be making a pair of Lilly and Scrump ornaments. You'll need first blue paint, red paint, some yellow foam, and 2 plastic ornament balls. You can use glass, but I prefer plastic so they don't break. So first we're going to start with the red, and we're going to pour a very good amount of the red into the plastic ball ornament. After you get a good amount of paint in the ornament, you're going to want to start kind of twirling around or swishing around the ornament in your hand. That way you start to cover the inside of the ornament. I will say I had to go back and add more paint to this because I didn't add enough, and that's fine too, but you're going to want to fully cover the clear plastic on the ornament. After you have fully covered the ornament, I place mine upside down on the paint bottle. That way I can let some of the excess paint drip out of the bottle into the paint, or out of the ornament into the paint bottle. So now we are going to start working on Scrump, and we're going to use this light, I think it's pool blue. I'm not sure. It's probably not even the same name anymore, but this lighter color blue. And you're going to do the same thing as you did for the Lilly ornament. You're going to add plenty of paint, and then you're just going to twirl it around in your hand until the clear plastic is fully covered. And when the ball is covered, I'm going to turn it upside down onto the paint bottle and let that paint drip out. Now I'm going to use red, a darker blue, and a black to start adding Scrump's face. First, I'll start off with the black button eye, just making a circle. I freehanded it, but if you wanted to, you could trace a circle. Now I'm just going to add Scrump's mouth, and it's just kind of a squiggly line. I start in the middle and work my way out. That way I can make both sides even. So what I'm showing here is I use the end of a paintbrush to kind of make small holes, chipping off that paint. That way I can make it look like a button. So now I'm going to add the thread to the black button eye of Scrump. And I just pretty much make an X with white paint. Now I'm going to add the stitching detail to Scrump's mouth, and it's just red lines every, it's not even an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch. You make a red line making stitch marks on Scrump's mouth. Now I'm just going to make Scrump's hair by cutting out 3 strips on yellow foam. After I cut out the strips, I do trim them down just a little bit. That way it won't be too long on the ornament. Now I'm just going to attach the foam strips to the metal piece on my ornament with hot glue. I first place 2 side by side, and then I will place 1 on top of where the 2 meet. Now for Scrump's bow, I'm just using some pale pink ribbon that I had on hand. I cut out the desired amount that I want. You see me fold it in half here. That way I can have a crease to show where I need to put down hot glue to put it together. Now I'll just scrunch up the little piece of ribbon together and then add a little bit of hot glue and then a piece of ribbon on top of that to secure it, making it look like a bow. Now I just add some hot glue to Scrump's hair. I apparently added more pieces for hair than I realized. I believe I used 5 smaller pieces, just I guess to make her hair thicker. But yeah, you'll add the bow to the hair, and there is Scrump. Since we finished Scrump, I started on the Lilo ornament, and I'm just doing a pattern like her dress, and I'm going to add some leaves. Here I'm just showing you kind of how I painted the leaves onto the ornament. I start with the bottom, making little triangular type of leaf shape, I guess. I guess that would be the shape you'd use, but pretty much I'm just making a leaf shape that looks like the leaves off her dress. And I go ahead and paint it completely white. And I add leaves all over the red ornament. I do make different size leaves. That way it's not just the same size leaf on the entire ornament. Plus this kind of helps because it's sometimes hard doing freehand paint having the same size leaf every time. And here, just like the button eyes, I'm going to use the other side of my paintbrush and just kind of scrape off some of the white paint. And of course I lost the rest of that footage, and I lost the footage of them hanging on my tree. But pretty much you get the idea. You saw Scrump. Lilo's dress looks just like Lilo's dress. So now moving on to the Remy Ratatouille ornament. You're going to need another plastic bulb, some hot glue, a foam sheet, a kind of tan color, a pink color, white, and the same blue that we use for Scrump. So first you're going to add that blue into the ornament just like we did with Scrump. And just in case anyone's wondering, I did not hurt myself. That is red paint on my hand. I had to clean off a paintbrush in order to, it was kind of like sampling the color and cleaning it off at the same time. But yeah, that's just red paint on my hand. And like I said, I do pretty much the same thing that I did with Scrump. I just make sure that I covered the clear plastic part completely. And now I'm going to work on cutting out Remy's hat. I'm using my ruler to measure out. I'm trying to figure out the measurement. I had it in my head. I should have wrote it down. But yeah, it looks like I used like 1/4 of an inch, and I measured that out. Now I'm just measuring out the height of his hat. The 1/4 of an inch that I measured out is going to be like the bottom rim of the hat. And now I have folded over a scrap piece of foam, making his ear and just drawing that out, and then I will cut it out while it's folded. That way you have two of the same shaped ears. Now to paint his hat, I'm just using some white paint, and I will cover it in, I think, 2 to 3 coats to keep the yellow. Obviously, you could just buy a piece of white foam and do it that way, but my Walmart was out, so you kind of have to be resourceful and use white paint. Here I am painting his ears. I do suggest painting his ears just to get it that correct pink kind of tan color. But first I am adding a little bit of the tan color, and I will spread it all over the foam pieces. While it is still a little wet, I'm going to add a little dab of pink to give it more of a pinky tan skin color than just like a pale skin color. After the white has dried, I'm going to start folding the foam to make it look more like a chef's hat. And I do start, after I add some foam lines, I'll add a little dab of hot glue and then refold it, and then add a little dab of hot glue and then fold it again, but using the hot glue to make sure that the foam will stay folded and it doesn't come undone. Now to the back, you just kind of push it in, fold it in half almost, and add hot glue. And I'm not putting this over the place where you hang the ornament, so I'm just going to squish the foam together to make it more flat. That way it will hang better on a tree. Now I'm adding my little ornament topper back into the ornament. The great thing about this one is, one, it's not glass. I've broken glass ornaments doing this before, and I'm showing you that spot, but we're just going to cover that in a second. But plastic ornaments, I like them better because I have broken glass ones trying to put the ornament topper back on. So back to the hat, I am just going to add some hot glue onto the topper and push the hat onto the hot glue. Now I'm going to add the bottom trim band. That way it looks more clean and looks a little bit more like a chef hat. And I am going to wrap that all the way around the topper using hot glue to secure it. Now I'm just adding Remy's ears. I'm going to add them to the side of the chef hat using some hot glue. You're going to want to hold them for about 30 seconds to make sure they are secured. I originally, before I started painting, kind of did an outline of Remy's face, and I started out with the white. Then I added some tan accents, like his nose and some of his eyes. And then I added the black. I will say I went back, and you won't see this, but I made his nose the same color of his ears. But that otherwise is Remy, the mouse from Ratatouille. So now for our last ornament, we are going to be using mini trees from Dollar General, these DIY ornaments from Dollar General, ribbon from Dollar General, and I believe I picked up this Mickey from Dollar Tree, but I've seen them at Dollar General too. So the reason why I'm using all this Dollar General stuff is because Dollar Tree didn't have any of this. First, I get the ornament, the clear ornaments that you can break apart. I cut a piece of ribbon and I am kind of adding some fringe onto the bottom of the ribbon to make it look more like a scarf. I'm using a buffalo check pattern because my Christmas tree is buffalo check, but you could definitely use any type of ribbon pattern that you want. But add fringe to both sides, making it look like a scarf. And now I'm just going to tie it around Mickey's neck. I do kind of put the scarf more towards the side, that way it's not completely covering up Mickey. Now we are first going to add the mini bottle brush tree onto the back side of the clear ornament, securing it using hot glue. Super glue also works for this too, but I did not have any super glue on hand. Now we're going to glue Mickey on the other side. He is going to go down backwards towards you. That's because when you put the ball ornament together, he's going to be facing out. But before you glue him down, I suggest placing him in the ball to see where he touches on the ornament. That way you know where to put the glue. And I close it together just to kind of check and make sure that's how I like it. But now I find... well, I've had this on my craft table all season. I grab my fake snow that I've picked up from Dollar Tree. If you can't find fake snow, Epsom salt works really well too. And now I'm just going to add some hot glue on the rim of the ornament to secure it closed. I definitely suggest a super glue on this, but like I said, I did not have any super glue on hand. Super glue gel works the best. But if you are going to use hot glue, you're going to need to do it quickly. That way your hot glue does not dry before you try to place it together. And this is Mickey hanging on my tree. I love this. I want to make some more. The buffalo check ribbon scarf looks so great with my buffalo check on my tree. I really want to make more of these next year. So that was the 4 ornaments. The one I'm most excited about is the Mickey one. I really kind of want to grab a bunch of that stuff next year and make a bunch of different characters. I know you can find Anna and Elsa and Olaf and Incredibles and Monsters Inc. You can find a ton of different little character figurine, plastic figurine things, whether it be at Five Below, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and they're all roughly $1. But I really want to make a bunch of those. I think that'd be really cool. But for now, end of Vlogmas Day 19. Thank you so much for joining us. Comment below and let me know which one was your favorite ornament. Like I said, my favorite was the Mickey. I'm really wanting to make more of those next year. But thank you so much for watching. Bye.